With the way people criticize Man of Steel, you'd think he was the only Superman in the character's 80-year history that would cause property damage like this. This is a lot of people's favorite incarnation of Superman too. This one's mine, but you never see any of this get mentioned. Let's first deal with the criticisms of this movie regarding property damage, lives saved, and lives lost. If I'm doing this chronologically, I have to start with this truck. What's funny is, the main criticism I see about this one is that Superman would never do this, which to me is odd considering this is a direct rip from something he did do in the comics. The real crime is not a single soul hearing him do this. He would have had to put this truck on these poles extremely slowly to not make noise that would have alerted anyone. And even then, I feel like the alarm would have went off. Best case scenario I can think of is Clark picking up the truck and flying away to do all of this and bringing it back. But even that is iffy because his first flight is after this. This was definitely a rule of cool moment. I like it, but it doesn't make sense the longer you think about it. So I'll give y'all that one. Next scene, I swear gives people some form of PTSD. If the Smallville scene were a person, it broke into their house in the dead of night, snuck to the fridge, ate their favorite leftovers, pissed in the fork drawer, removed the microwave door, and then spit on the family dog 7 times before leaving the scene. It's that bad for people. Just real quick, I'll recap. Zod is looking for the Codex. He goes to look for it at Clark's home. Superman realizes this means his mother is in danger. Zod threatens Clark's mom. Superman tackles Zod, screaming so hard his voice is cracking. They go through a silo and then burst through a 7-Eleven into a gas station. Gas station explodes. A fight between Superman and the 2 Kryptonians happens. A lot of damage, a lot of death. This scene goes against everything Superman stands for. Somebody posted in response to this scene. This is a stupid thing to say for a few reasons. First off, I challenge you to find me a version of Superman that hasn't caused property damage. Like, what are we talking about here? Only one I can think of is Brandon Routh's Superman, and surprise, surprise, it just so happens to be the one Superman film where all the adversaries are human and there's very little action, so the property damage likelihood is at an all-time low. The Superman movie where he was the least at fault was the movie where almost nothing happens. Wow, would you look at that? And even in that movie, a Superman that's clearly been around a while still pulls a stunt like this, ricocheting bullets to God knows where. One thing people love to do with Snyder's Superman is just say people died, when nothing in the movie confirms this. They will literally conjure up people to die to bolster a false narrative. Like in this same screenshot, Superman killed at least 6 people in this scene. Point them out, please. Yeah, he went through a 7-Eleven and blew up a gas station. It did show people were near when it happened, but why are we inventing people that died? They smacked into a car and it flipped over. Doesn't mean someone was in it. And someone's not automatically dead if they were in it and it flipped over. I could just as easily assume one of these bullets hit someone in a building somewhere and nitpick about him not moving faster in front of it to stop more of them from ricocheting. I could just as easily say people died in this scene too. But ask yourself why someone would feel the need to do that. To assume the absolute worst about something in a movie that could go either way unless they were looking for reasons to hate it from the start. Then these guys start circle jerking each other because of course they do. Another comment multiplies that number over 5 times what the original number was. That same guy that said at least 6 agrees with this dude and now says at least 31. Where is this coming from? This part is at least out of understandable rage. Superman just learned that Zod killed his Kryptonian father.
But if I had to do it again, I would.
He then interrupts Zod, threatening his Earth mom, one out of only 2 whole humans on the entire planet that he has left. Second reason this is so stupid is because this is Superman's actual first encounter dealing with anything of this nature. His first fight. This Superman was Superman for years and he still blasted that nigga into hella cars. He didn't even check on the area of effect after it happened. He just turned to talk to Vixen and kept it pushing. But you never hear people saying that this goes against what Superman stands for. Zod kicked a tanker later on in this movie. Superman did dodge it, but he then turned around to look at the area affected, to his detriment because it caused Zod to get the drop on him. But back to Smallville. For a bit of this, I'm going to refer to a Reddit thread where the main topic was the Smallville fight scene. Most of the damage done to this city was done by the military as well as the other Kryptonians. Superman did cause damage, but most of the time it was a byproduct of saving someone else or attempting to incapacitate Faora and Namek. Like, yeah, Superman did cause damage to that IHOP when he tackled Faora, but that was a consequence of him saving the pilot she was about to murder. One of the same pilots that just tried to murder him. Again, to his own detriment. That's why comments like this disturb me. It's the complete disregard for public safety. He just never seemed to care about collateral damage. He didn't even need to verbalize it because his actions proved otherwise.
You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
Here's 2 more times his actions showed he was concerned for civilians to his own detriment. Sure don't look like someone that doesn't care. Action is more important than just saying it, but if words from him are what you were looking for, he straight up did verbalize a regard for public safety right before they start fighting.
Get inside. It's not safe.
It's like people want everything verbalized and to be handheld so they can come to a conclusion. Like, do these types of people genuinely think that if Superman either said, hey, let's take this elsewhere, or straight up just flew away, they'd listen to his words or follow him after he just attacked their general? In this very fight scene, Faora herself makes a declaration.
You will not win. For every human you save, we will kill 1 million more.
Superman has to keep the fight focused on them. Look at what Faora did the split second Superman wasn't in the picture to put pressure on her. She didn't even have to do this. Those bullets were not hurting her. She relished in killing people. Yes, he did make the mistake of bringing the fight to Smallville, but multiple times he attempted to bring the fight elsewhere. Him tackling Faora was one of those attempts. Look how far he went with her. Second time was when he was literally getting jumped. Even then, you see him dragging Faora up in the air out of town and Namek jumps on top of him to bring them back down to the ground. Third time, he picked up Namek and punched him into the train yard. And now it's time to refer to the Reddit thread. The post was a gif of Superman picking up Namek and punching him into the train yard, right? Title says, Kal-El taking out the trash. One guy responds to this by saying, taking out the trash and destroying property while crippling this small town's ability to import or export items via train. Now, before I tell you what I said in response to this in the thread, I'm going to ask you some questions. First, is this guy a train conductor or something? When have you seen anyone care about something this laser specific in an action movie? Crippling the import and export ability of a small town? Are you serious? Do you see what I mean now? When have you ever seen this level of nitpick for any other version of Superman or any other superhero?
Everybody out!
Oh no! Iron Man just crippled this building's ability to transport groups of people vertically in a timely manner. What the heck, man? You hear how dumb that sounds? You've never seen a comment like that for this scene. I can't believe what I'm looking at. And don't think I didn't notice the need to include small town to dramatize this further. I noticed. My response to that ludicrous statement was, taking out the trash and destroying replaceable property and saving irreplaceable people. Fam, there are aliens attacking the planet. Why are we worried about locomotives? Now, I'm gonna turn your attention to one last comment from that Reddit thread. The reason this one looks different is because he deleted it. I guess he realized how nonsensical what he said was. I had to uncover it by email, and I only do that so you can further see how wacky these people can get. In response to my comment, he says, you know what would make people really love Superman? If he managed to protect them without causing billions of dollars of damage. No wonder he was controversial in the Snyderverse. Billions. I know I sound like a broken record now, but again, do you see my point? Where is this number coming from? He is strictly talking about how much damage Superman specifically caused monetarily. And look at how ludicrous he got with that number. Keep in mind, this was in the thread about the Smallville fight. Superman caused the damage of a silo, an IHOP, a truck, a building, a 7-Eleven, a gas station pump, and a car. Does that seem like billions to you? No, it doesn't. Only with Snyder is shit like this being done. Anyway, moving on to the final action sequences of the movie. This one shouldn't take as long. Or it probably will. Whatever. Was there collateral damage caused by Superman? Yes. Here, here, and here. Most of the damage done to Metropolis, like 95% of it, was done by the World Engine before Superman even got there. It would have legit been stupid for him to be there to save people.
And if I don't stop that machine over the Indian Ocean, the gravity field will continue to expand.
The only one of these encounters where you see humans near the area of impact is here. And as you can see, they are fine. There are real people that use this one as some sort of gotcha that Superman was just reckless for sport. So now I gotta ask another question. When you guys that believe this turned on the movie, did you instantly turn the sound off and put a blindfold on? Immediately before this happens, this same ship appears behind the plane with Lois and the payload inside. You know, the payload used to collide with this to open up the Phantom Zone to get rid of everything Kryptonian? What do you think happens if Superman doesn't do this? Zod's ship gets another chance to shoot it down. Superman barely got there in time the first time. Everyone is dead if he does not do exactly this. In the alternate scenario, Faora and the other Kryptonians that can fight are still on Earth with Zod. There is no way Superman is stopping all of them. He is dead. The alternate outcome is a million times worse. Moving on to the fight with Zod. Zod outright says,
I'm going to make them suffer, Cal. These humans you've adopted, I will take them all from you one by one.
So again, he wanted to kill people. Superman couldn't take his eyes off of Zod because once again, look at what happened the split second he did. There was no asking him to fight somewhere else. Superman still did try taking him out of the city. He tackled him upwards. He then punched him over the buildings. If he really didn't care about public safety, right here he would have spiked Zod clean into the ground or a building, but he didn't. If you can't see Superman trying to get him out of the city with these punches and you need to be told that's what he's doing, then I'm sorry to inform you that your brain is located in either your feet, ass, or your nutsack, because it damn sure ain't in your head. Zod literally stopped Superman from doing that and flew low into the city, and Superman had to find him. What other reason would he be chasing Zod after he just heard him say this?
I'm going to make them suffer, Cal.
You remember in the Batman Arkham games where you'd hear Batman's inner thoughts that were actually helping you if you were stuck on a part?
I need to find out what that key code is.
I need to be more accurate and target the weapons directly.
It's like you guys need that for you to understand what's going on.
I was bred to be a warrior, Cal. Trained my entire life to master
I
my
need to get Zod above these buildings and out of the city. I need to find the general before he harms more innocent people. And finally, we get to the part that shouldn't even need to be explained. If your response to this is Superman doesn't kill, then you're telling on yourself. He kills when he absolutely has to. It's almost always been that way. It was him or the family. A common, extremely stupid response I hear to all of this is, why didn't he just fly up and take the battle elsewhere? And what then? He couldn't summon the Phantom Zone again. How else was he going to end it? A common response I see people like me who defend this movie use in response to that is, if he takes the battle elsewhere, the likelihood of more people dying increases. I agree with that. But you want to hear one thing I never hear anyone mention in response to that? If he keeps the battle going past this point, the likelihood of Superman dying greatly increases. Don't believe me? Watch the fight again. Superman was losing most of that fight. Zod hit Superman almost 3 times as much as Superman hit him. This was more than likely Superman's only true shot to end it, and he took it. Even when he did it, he still felt remorse, fell to his knees and screamed out in pain. Most people's favorite Superman killed a powerless Zod and smiled about it. Is that what y'all want? That's another criticism of the movie I remember around the time it came out, is how dreary the movie was. Like there's something to smile about when aliens invade and are killing everyone. This is how y'all wanted the fight scene to go down.
Logo.
This guy's still bothering you?
Ridiculous. Last thing I'm gonna talk about is Pa Kent. One criticism I have a problem with is regarding this scene. I actually like this scene because it shows what a flawed character looks like.
I just wanted to help.
I know you did, but we talked about this. Right? Clark, you have to keep this side of yourself a secret.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe.
Not everyone has the perfect answer. People sometimes say the wrong thing. Regardless of him saying something questionable, you never doubt that he's saying it because of how much he cares for his son. Imagine how unsure you'd be about pretty much everything when it came to raising a child that also happened to be a superpowered alien. One that has to deal with life and death in his hands at such a young age. I think people that don't like this scene are focusing too much on what he's saying and not enough on why he's saying it. The final criticism I want to tackle is the tornado scene. I'm a fan of the tornado scene because as I see it, on one hand, it reinforces within Clark the idea of selflessness and shows him a willingness to die for something you believe in, which no doubt inspired Clark's actions in the sequel. On the other hand, Pa Kent represented an idea, a fear that the world was not ready. Maybe he was right at that moment, but that fear, that idea was instilled in Clark through Jonathan. That notion had to die for the Superman to be born, and it did with Jonathan's death. I've seen some suggest he died by a heart attack like in previous incarnations, but in my opinion, a heart attack wouldn't do. Doesn't convey the same theme. That was about not being able to save everyone. That's not the theme here. If you think this scene is too drastic of a way to convey his death and those themes, I understand. But to me, it makes sense. It's supposed to be flawed. That's all I got for now. I probably missed something and I'm probably gonna remember it after the video's already uploaded like I always do, but whatever. I got most of it, I think. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Man of Steel. If you agree, disagree, it's all fine to me. Leave a like and don't forget to check out the other content on this channel. Subscribe if you enjoy it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks again. I really appreciate it.